The top three problems that I would see with my clients would be, the first one would be mindset. And what I mean by that is, I suppose most of the time when people start working with me, like the people that I work with are very smart people and they generally have pretty good mindsets. But what I've realized that even the best can get caught out, and your mindset has a value, and sometimes you don't even see it yourself. So the first thing is that generally when I meet them, there's a problem and they're consumed with that problem. And part of my first job is to figure out what the problem is, what the cause of the problem is, but also to get an internal shift in their view of that problem. I call that a mind shift. So they're internally looking differently at the problem and they get a little bit more orientated, if you want, towards a possible solution or a different future. So that's number one, mindset. Number two would be clarity. Most people, when I meet them, have a lack of clarity in two ways. One is a lack of clarity on a vision or an end result that they're trying to achieve, or what are they trying to do anyway. And the second thing could be their heads could be so busy that they don't even realize that that's affecting their clarity. And so part of my job, as I say about the inner game, is to help them learn some new skills on the mental side to help them clear their mind, calm their mind. And what they'll realize then is by having a clear mind, their vision becomes easier to kind of come through. And the third problem that I encounter the most is dealing with people. So looking at, do I have the right people on my team in a business context? Do I hang out with the right people? What kind of energy are the people around me in my team and even in my personal life? And are they challenging me? And one of the trickiest things when you're a leader of people in particular, and most people have to lead in some capacity, whether it's a business or a family or a team or an organization or a school, is how do I manage people and how do I lead people, but also how do I pick the right people? Because that's a really important element of success in any field these days. You can't do everything by yourself. If you want to succeed in life, you have to be able to communicate better and identify the best people for you to work with. And that's usually a problem when I first meet people, in terms of very often they have the wrong people around them in a business context in particular, and they have been slow to maybe change the position that they're in, or maybe even some cases to let them move on. So that's those three: mindset, clarity, and people will be the three key problems. How you solve or approach a problem does depend on the context of the problem, but there are some common denominators. So one of the common denominators in terms of my approach would be to get clear about, I suppose, what is the problem and diagnose it correctly, because most people struggle sometimes to diagnose a problem to its actual cause. So in a people problem situation, sometimes that problem is from the person that I'm dealing with. It might be with the people. So we have to look at what's the actual cause. And then the second thing is to look at what's the desired end result. So there's a huge power in getting a clear mental picture of what you're trying to create. Most people are very clear about what they don't want. There's a great power in actually being clear about what you do want, because even for your mind, as psychology has shown, getting clear on the end result of any sort of problem turned into an actual outcome for a solution automatically gears you mentally towards finding the problem, finding the solution, or finding a better solution. On a psychological level, by actually putting in a clear outcome of what you want, even if you don't know how to do it, automatically gears you internally. Automatically, you're actually now kind of balanced more towards automatically finding possible solutions. See, the key thing really, even as I'm saying that, is to realize that there is a solution to every problem. The key bit, though, is your state of mind. So what I've realized is that if myself and my clients, if you can actually manage to manage your state of mind better, so your energy, your outlook is more positive, your energy is better. Think about it, when your energy is better, you automatically see solutions quicker than if your energy is off. So if you're dealing with somebody whose energy is off, like sometimes I'll meet clients that they come in the first time and they might be depressed, or they could be seriously stressed. Stress is at an epidemic level at the moment. My first thing is to try and calm their minds down and help them reset themselves so that their energy and outlook and mindset is better. And once that happens, very often the solution comes from them, and then it's much more powerful. So, it's not that somebody in my position has to come up with all the answers. You can, from your experience, sometimes come up with the answers, but if you're doing the best job in my view, it's much more powerful if the person sees it themselves, especially if their head has just gotten so busy. So the first thing really is get centered, get your state of mind right, and then any problem is pretty much insurmountable. The value of having an external advisor or mentor or coach in any field is immense once you get the right person for you. If you think about it, everybody has blind spots, and certainly, over the course of my career, a common thing you'd hear back from entrepreneurs and CEOs and business owners in particular is that you don't know what you don't know. So, it's important to have people around you that can help you perhaps identify things that you need to learn. We all have blind spots. So if somebody said to me before, like, why does a golfer have a swing coach? The reason is because they can't see themselves swing. But yet in life, if you've ever had an experience where you just didn't see something about yourself, and afterwards you think, God, I can't believe I did that. Same thing applies in business, but it's more dangerous in business than it is actually in life, because if you don't see something in business, it can cost you millions. If you don't see something in business, it can cost you your life. If you don't see something in business, it can cost you people, talented people. So it's very important. The best people that I know that I work with, who very often would know way more about business than I would, what they value the most is actually having somebody external that they trust, who will just perhaps ask a question or make a comment that they just hadn't considered. And that question or comment can be of immense value, especially the bigger the company is. So I think at this point in the world's history, it's becoming much more apparent to people at the highest level that it's you're taking a big risk if you don't have some external support, whether it's a coach or a mentor. I was talking to somebody recently actually in a big multinational, and they were telling me at a director level in this multinational in Dublin, the American multinational, that everybody at the board level has 2 coaches and 1 mentor. And the 2 coaches are internal, the mentor is external. And so that says a lot in terms of what big business is doing. But for small and medium-sized enterprise, these days it's much more economically viable to get somebody, but also there's a great return on it once you get the right person to support you.